The Trash Pandas are on the field. Let's go ahead and run through the starting lineups for this ball game. We'll begin with the Lookouts, who are 1-0 on the season. Jose Torres will lead things off, play shortstop, batting second at third. Noel V. Marte in the three position. The designated hitter is Ivan Johnson. Hitting cleanup out and right is Reese Hines. In the 5 spot, patrolling center field is Alan Serta. Hitting 6 will be the second baseman, Nick Quintana. In the 7 position, behind the dish, is Daniel Veoheen. Hitting 8th over at first base is Quincy McAfee. And batting 9th tonight for the Lookouts will be left fielder Jacob Hurtubise. The defense for the Trash Pandas, left to right, it'll go Teodosio, Jackson, and Calabrese. Around the infield, third to first, Gomez, Neto, Paris, and Flint. Behind the plate, Cuero. And on the hill today for the Rocket City Trash Pandas will be Coleman Crow, back for his second season with Rocket City. He had a nice year a year ago, 9-3, 4.85 ERA. Those 9 wins were tied for most in the Southern League. The ERA may be a little on the high side, but keep in mind he was facing some of the fiercest hitting ball clubs in the league, namely Birmingham and Chattanooga, Tennessee, of course, all in the Trash Pandas division. He had to face those same guys again and again and again, and a lot of his maturity, a lot of his growth as a pitcher has to do with keeping guys off balance and what he can do to keep them guessing as he sees them 2, 3, 4, 5 times a season. So that is something he'll continue to work on as he continues to climb the Angels minor league ladder. Throw goes down to second. We're about ready to go. Rocket City in the white tops, white bottoms, black pinstripes, red numeral on the back with black trim. They also have a red numeral on the right lapel with black trim, and the red and blue intertwined RC emblem on the left lapel. Red cap, black bill with the, again, that red and blue RC intertwined emblem in the middle of that. As standing in is Torres. We are ready to go. The first pitch by Crow is on the way, and it's a fastball foul back. We're a little early today. First pitch is at 4:04. Rainy, overcast conditions, and very cool temperatures in about the high 50s at the start of this one, and it will continue to dip as we go into the evening. The 0-1, here it is. Fastball, sky to right. Coming in towards the line is Calabrese. He's under it. He's got it. And there's one out in the first inning. Uniform check for Chattanooga. Black tops, gray bottoms. It says Nooga, Nooga in capital letters across the front of the jersey in white lettering. Small white numeral on the left hip. Large white numeral on the back of the jersey. And the Lookouts for game 1 with the all-black cap with the white letter C in the middle with the famous Chattanooga eyes. The fastball misses high and tight. It's 1-0 to Noel V. Marte. Marte, 279 a season ago, 1 of 6 on Thursday. Next pitch. Change up, that must have been low. Looked like a pretty good offering. 2 balls and no strikes. Playing off the line at first is Flint. Coleman rocks and delivers. Fastball high and tight, 3-0. So Crow way behind in the count against Marte, one of the top prospects in the Reds organization. The right-handed hitter stands back in. Open stance, the next offering. Fastball, that's high. He walked him on 4 straight. So Crow walks Marte, walk number 1 by Coleman, and 1 on with 1 out for Ivan Johnson. Here's a look at the umpires for tonight's game. Behind the plate calling the balls and strikes is Sean Cassidy. Over at first is Chandler Durham, and your third base umpire is Dylan Bradley. No wind. That's a blessing after what we went through on Thursday. Holding the runner at first is Flint, lead over there by Marte. This is a righty on lefty matchup as the first pitch. Fastball down and in, 1-0. Johnson, 261 a season ago, 1 of 6 on Thursday as well, as Coleman has missed with the last 5. He'll go from the belt, the kick, the pitch. Change up, there's a strike. 1-1. Coleman had such a fine season last year, got to playoff time. He came up big in that Game 3 against Tennessee. As the fastball misses outside 2-1, but only went 1 inning. Remember, Rocket City fell behind early in that ball game, and as they tried to come back, Andy Shatsley really had to mix and match his bullpen through the rest of that ball game. Crow only went 1 frame in that contest. Here's the set, the pitch. Let up, did he go around? Yes, he did. On the check swing, did Johnson. Even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It'll be interesting tonight to see how these bats react and how these guys come back after what was it, 42 combined strikeouts Thursday night?
Between the two teams,
Yeah.
that's absolutely right. 2-2. Let up, swing and a miss. Threw him a curveball down and in. Johnson down swinging. They didn't listen to you, Brian. That's strikeout number 1, out number 2 in the first.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of aggressive hitters today. I think you're going to see guys who remember that and want to come back and have a good game here today after several, as you mentioned, strikeouts Thursday night.
Here's Reese Hines now. Another curve, another strike, 0-1. As out in front was the right-handed hitter. Reese at 233, 12 homers, 30 runs driven in. That was, of course, last season. The 0-1 by Coleman, who goes from the first base side of the rubber. The kick, the pitch. A changeup that time. Kept it low, and out in front again is Hines, 0-2. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the same offering.
Been successful with it. Hines has had problems with the strikeouts over the last couple of years,
including 4 on Thursday.
Yeah.
The look back in, away at first is Marte. The kick, a little pause, a pitch, low and away. I don't think I've seen Coleman do that, but a little timing mechanism there to try and throw the hitter off.
Just a little bit of a hitch. Almost worked.
1-2 now. Leading away at first, Marte again. The set, he'll go. The pitch hit hard to short, but backhanded by Neto. Long throw to first in time as he threw that from the shallow right field grass. 6-3 on the putout, and the Lookouts are done in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. End of half an inning. It's Chattanooga 0, Rocket City coming to bat. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first inning, Chattanooga came up empty in the top half. Now the Trash Pandas will come to the plate with an 0-1 record. Zach Neto will lead things off, plays short, batting second at second. Kyron Paris. Edgar Cuero will get the start today behind the dish and bat third. Jeremiah Jackson in center field will hit cleanup. Tucker Flint bats fifth. He'll play first base. Bryce Teodosio is out in left field. He will hit sixth. David Calabrese is in the seventh spot in right field. Aaron Whitefield will be the designated hitter this evening and hit eighth as the first pitch is fouled away by Neto, 0-1. Jose Gomez will hit ninth and play the hot corner. The defense for Chattanooga, left to right, Hurtubise, Serta, and Hines. Around the infield, third to first, it will be Marte, Torres, Quintana, and McAfee. Behind the plate, Veoheen, and on the hill, Connor Phillips. I remember this guy from last year. It's the pitch. Did he go around Zach on the high fastball? Yes, he did, says Sean Cassidy. And it's quickly at no balls and 2 strikes. Zach went 1 for 3 on Thursday. Did draw a couple of walks and drove in a run with a double. Slider, swing and a miss. Neto chased. He's down on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 1 for Phillips. Out number 1 in the first inning. Phillips 1-5 a year ago, a 4.93 ERA. As standing in is Paris, 241, 12 homers, and 42 RBI. You look at his numbers, and really not too big of a discrepancy from lefty to right-handed hitters. Next pitch, fastball misses high to Paris. It's 1-0. Has a 4-seam fastball, a slider, a curve, and a changeup. His fastball he'll use a little more than half the time. Next pitch. There was that fastball, stayed high, 2-0. His velocity will sit between 95 and 99. Paris, 1 of 5 on Thursday. They play him straight away on the infield. The pitch. Fastball hit him. My goodness, where did it catch him? I think it caught him on the ear hole. And Andy Shatsley jogging in there to check on Kyron, make sure he's okay. Again, that's a high 90s fastball that's rocketing through there. And Kyron tried to get that left arm up to protect himself, and it didn't quite get there in time. T.D. Swinford, the trainer this season for Rocket City, he is out there to check in on Kyron as well.
Josh, you mentioned the velocity on that fastball. And, yeah, it did hit the helmet, we think. And we heard that thing ring up here. But that is – anytime it's coming that speed, that's a bell ringer for sure. And they're just going to check him out, make sure everything's as it should be.
So they're taking a look at him right now. And hopefully Kyron will – if he can't continue, hopefully he's just okay and can be back in there soon enough. But they're going to get him to his feet and see if he can hang in there. And he'll get a nice round of applause from the crowd here. That's always very scary. It's one thing to get it on the shoulder or the forearm. It's another thing when it's the head. And looks like he might try to stay in the game, but he's going to walk and talk to TD as he heads down to first base, make sure he's good to go. Concussions and head injuries, we all know how sensitive those are.
He had a smile on his face, and so that's always a good sign.
So they're chatting it up, and they're going to let him stay in the ball game. So good for Kyron, and he'll stand at first with one out for Edgar Cuero. Cuero had .312, 17 homers, 75 RBI a season ago. He was 1 for 5 on Thursday. So he'll dig in. First pitch, looked like a curveball that missed down and in, 1-0. Kyron away at first, had 33 stolen bases last season. Let's see if they try to put him in motion. Next pitch, fastball missed outside, 2-0. Now remember, Phillips a little bit from last year. Control can be an issue at times for him. Likes to get ahead with the fastball, and that, again, is his bread and butter. Next offering. Fastball hit foul off to the left. Good cut that time by Cuero. And it's 2-1.
You mentioned the fastball there from Phillips. He was in the Mariners organization at one time. Mariners had a gas camp that helps out with velocity. I don't think he needed much help there with that velocity.
Throw over to first, and Kyron back in there with a head-first dive. He came over in a trade a couple of years ago from Seattle, did Connor. In fact, he was traded right before last season started. Standing back in, Cuero well off the line at third is Marte. A lot of room down that left field line if Edgar can go to the off-field. He tries to, and he lifts it foul down that left side. It'll land in the picnic patio. And we'll even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, we're just underway. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Both games are 7 innings long. No win from the Flags, as leading at first is Paris. A lot of room on that right side for Cuero as well. The pitch. Fastball down and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cuero again out of Cuba. He'll dig back in. Slightly open stance for the left-handed hitter against the righty Phillips. At the belt, instead of throw over and back safely, is Paris. So that's the second attempt, pickoff attempt over at first. If he goes over there again, they have to get an out. Otherwise, it'll be a pitcher's balk. The look in. Kyron takes his lead. Phillips kicks. There goes Paris. Pitch is a ball. That'll be ball 4. Wow. That one looked pretty good. Kyron went ahead with the slide. I thought it was strike 3, but it was called off the plate by Sean Cassidy.
I don't know where that pitch missed, but it didn't miss by much. But Connor Phillips
there goes
has worked
Paris.
himself
Pitch
into a jam
is
here
a
early.
ball. That'll be. So no stolen base for Paris. That one looked pretty good. Kyron went ahead with the slide. I thought it was on the video for it. That'll be walk number 1 from Cuero. And here's Jeremiah Jackson. Jeremiah could use a pick-me-up as he takes the first pitch down and in. Looked like a slider. It's 1-0. JJ went 0 for 5 on Thursday, had 4 strikeouts. I know that's not the way he wanted to begin his season. From the belt is Phillips. He'll check second. Next pitch. Fastball lofted into right field. Starting out, now coming in is Hines. He'll slow up, make the catch. And that'll be out number 2 as Jeremiah caught that one off the end of his bat. So Jackson flies to right, 2 away in the first inning. And here's Tucker Flint. Tucker, he also went 0 for 5 on Thursday, had 3 strikeouts. So it's going to take a little 2-out magic here for Rocket City to break out in front. Saw Tucker get a lot of work on Friday between the raindrops with Andy Shatsley over at first base. That's a new position they're trying to work him in at as he'll stand in. Open stance for the left-handed hitter. He played right field on Thursday. Fastball down and in. That goes off the mid of Veoheen, and everyone will move up a base. To the backstop, my guess is they'll call that a pass ball. And runners will be at second and third. Now a hit could mean 2 runs. And keep in mind, with this being a 7-inning game, it's not really the first inning, it's the third. So Rocket City will try to break out on top early. Swung around to the right, the second baseman Quintana. A let-up is in the dirt. Good stop by Veoheen. Now it's 2-0. And Flint should see a pitch to hit. And they're going to score that a wild pitch, actually. From the belt, the left-handed hitter waits. They set up high. The pitch. Fastball right in there. And it goes to 2-1.
Phillips has great velocity with that fastball, but you're right. If he can just rein that in and keep the control, that is his bread and butter pitch.
Shaded up the middle, the shortstop Torres. The look back in, the kick, the pitch. Fastball high and away, 3-1. Waiting on deck is Bryce Teodosio. He and Phillips have seen each other many a time before. So a 3-1 offering due to Flint. He does have an open base. Here's the set, the pitch. Fastball high and away, he walked him. So a hit by pitch, now 2 walks. And the bases are full of Pandas with 2 out for Bryce Teodosio. Well, you need some good mojo, and now time is called as the pitching coach for Chattanooga is going to make his way out there. That'll be Brian Garman, who we saw one time during extra innings on Thursday. He'll talk things over with Phillips, who's off to a rocky start in his first outing of the season. While they chatted up, fans, Toyota is a proud sponsor of Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball. Their mission is to attract and attain customers with high-value products and services and the most satisfying ownership experience in America. Their vision, to be the most successful and respected car company in America. Quick meeting as Garmin will head back to the dugout, and now it'll be Teodosio against Phillips in a righty-on-righty matchup. Phillips against right-handers. Opponents had a 662 OPS, only a 29% K rate as well. Only walked about 10% of those right-handed hitters. So here's the set and the first pitch. Led up, lifted into left, but it's going to hang up for Hurtubise, who comes in, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Bryce got a pitch to hit, but he was too far out in front, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits. No errors, 3 big ones left on base. At the end of an inning, we're scoreless. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. We go to the second inning of a scoreless game. Look out as standing in there is Alan Serta, and the first pitch by Coleman Crow was a fastball that got away from him high and tight, and that sent Serta down to his backside, and he'll take a moment as he tries to regroup here. Count 1-0. Serta, he wasn't sleeping on Thursday.
I like that.
You like that? Righty on righty as the next pitch. That's a changeup that goes off the mid of Cuero to the backstop. 2-0, but he had a home run in Thursday's ball game. Really good for him. He struggled mightily at Chattanooga last season. 2-0 offering. Fastball lifted along the line and right, giving chase is Flint, the first baseman. He'll check, and it'll leave the field of play, land on the berm, and even up at 1 ball and 1 strike, or go to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Did you come up with that off the top of your head? Or
I did.
Looking at the roster, you thought of that, or that's pretty quick?
I have to say this. I actually thought of that last year. I mean, Serta, right?
Right, it works.
Here's the 2-1 by Crow on the way. Fastball right down Broadway, and it evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Serta out of the Dominican. He'll stand back in. 2 of 4 on Thursday with that dinger. The pitch. Changeup, swing and a miss, strike 3. Down swinging goes Serta. That's strikeout number 2 for Crow. And one away in the second inning for Nick Quintana. Well, I did want to talk a little bit about the Thursday ball game, as disappointing as that was to lose. But we talk about the 42 strikeouts, something to keep in mind. Number one, Andrew Abbott was brilliant. So was Mason Earle. So was just about any pitcher. Here's the first pitch by Crow. Fastball is right through there to Quintana, 0-1. On a cold, clammy night like that, hitting can be really difficult. It's especially harder when you have two teams that haven't really played a competitive game in the last 5 days. Pitch is sent into deep right. Coming toward the line, camping under it is Calabrese. He'll make the squeeze for out number 2. So I guess the point I'm making, and I don't want to take any credit away from the pitchers, but guys were a little late for both teams. And that's why you saw so many strikeouts when you finish up spring training, then you fly to Chattanooga and Rocket City respectively, and then you don't play a competitive game for 5 days. It's like the All-Star break. Guys are a little late. Fastball is lifted foul along the left field line. It's 0-1 to the left-handed hitting Veoheen.
I was surprised by the high number, but as you're saying, not surprised by a lot of the strikeouts. You're pretty typical first few games of the year. Guys kind of getting used to each other, and you're seeing pitchers that maybe you have never seen or haven't seen in a long time, like you were saying from last year. So not really all that surprising.
0-1 to Veoheen. Crow winds, delivers. Curve, a beauty. Falls right in there, 0-2.
Now, the number 42 is a large number of strikeouts, don't get me wrong, but not uncommon.
Crow will try to end the inning. A little pause, a little pitch. Curve is slapped on the ground to second, knocked down with a backhand by Paris. He'll fire to first in time, and 1-2-3 go the Lookouts in the second inning. We'll head for the bottom half. Still scoreless. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Jack Dashwood with the greatest line read of all time as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless ball game between Rocket City and Chattanooga. Trash Pandas will send up the bottom third of their order. Calabrese, Aaron Whitefield, and Jose Gomez. Josh Carey with you alongside Brian Neese. Calabrese will try to get things started. He was 1 for 4 on Thursday, 3 strikeouts. Fans on Friday, it was Farmburger who fed the Rocket City Trash Pandas front office as part of its Feed the Team program. Fastball cut on and missed, 0-1. Farmburger offers 100% grass-fed beef burgers as well as other locally sourced ingredients. Enjoy grass-fed goodness before or after the game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball that hit the inside corner. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes on David out of Ontario. Hit .250 last season at Inland Empire. Here's the 0-2. Fastball slapped foul back to the screen as really late on that pitch was Calabrese. Phillips hit a batter, walked 2 men, and somehow got out of it unscathed. The left-handed hitter stands back in. Well off the line at third is Marte. Here's the pitch. That looked like a slider down and in. And it will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Again, Rocket City dropped game 1 on Thursday, rained out yesterday, doubleheader today. Here's the 1-2 from Phillips. Fastball just missed the outside corner. I think Phillips thought he had him. And it will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Phillips has been right on the edge in this early part of the game. He's nibbled a little bit.
He'll go from the first base side of the rubber, 2-2. Fastball outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one definitely missed. So a payoff pitch due to the left-handed hitter. Waiting on deck, Aaron Whitefield. 3-2, here it is. Fastball popped up. Third base side, long run for Marte. In foul ground, checks the railing. On the warning track, he makes the catch for out number 1 as Calabrese pops up to third. And 1 away in the second, and welcome back fan favorite Aaron Whitefield. The Aussie, the saucy Aussie, we'll call him that. He'll stand in, 262, 9 homers, 38 RBI a year ago. That was a season that was besieged with a little bit of injury. He hurt his knee, if you remember, in late June at Birmingham. Came back and was still a big part of this ball club and its playoff run when we got to September. First pitch to him is in the dirt. 1-0, got to appear in the World Baseball Classic with Australia this past spring. Really enjoyed that. Australia had a nice showing. Came up short against Japan, but still had a nice run in the preliminary round. Pitch is low, 2-0. Actually, now that I think of it, they did make it to the quarterfinals before finally getting bounced. Baseball's really come a long way in that country as the right-handed hitter stands back in against the righty Phillips. 2-0 on the way. Fastball, swing and a miss. He pumped it right past him, and it will go to 2-1. That was a pitch to hit for Aaron. He's the designated hitter today. Off the line at first is McAfee. Next offering. Fastball, another swing and a miss. And now down in the count is Whitefield. 2 balls and 2 strikes, or even I should say. Wind starts to pick up as it drifts in from left center field. Here's the wind, 2-2. Fastball called strike 3. Whitefield didn't like that one. It looked like Veoheen had to frame it a little bit. Aaron has a word with Sean Cassidy before he heads back to the dugout. Give Phillips some credit. He was down 2-0, came right back and threw 3 straight strikes. That'll be strikeout number 2 for him and out number 2 in the second inning for Jose Gomez. Good to see Jose back. 251, 7 homers, and 40 RBI. Split time between Rocket City and Salt Lake last year as the first pitches bounced in the dirt. Looked like a changeup. And it's 1-0. He had really a great year at Rocket City. Really provided a lot of leadership in the clubhouse. Did Gomez. Got called up to Salt Lake about mid-August. 1-0. Oh, boy, that was missed entirely by Veoheen. He's lucky he's all right. Just whiffed it. It caught a piece of the glove and fortunately didn't catch him in the nether regions. 2-0. You can see the catcher is still trying to shake out the cobwebs from the offseason. Straight away they play Gomez. Next pitch, swing and a miss. He was late on the fastball. It goes to 2-1 on Jose. The right-handed hitter stands back in. Phillips rocks and delivers. Fastball popped up. Foul ground. Back comes Veoheen. He'll give it a look, and it's going to land about 10 rows back behind home plate. And a nice play made on the ricochet by a fan from Fayetteville, Tennessee.
Very nicely done down there.
As the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, Phillips will try to wrap up the inning. Oh, I think that fan just gave that to a youngster. That's always nice to see. The Venezuelan native will stand back in. Gomez, slightly open stance, the pitch. Looked like a changeup that just missed outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter.
Little lady behind him, he gave that ball to her. You couldn't have given her $1 million and she wouldn't have been any happier.
Here's the 3-2 by Phillips. Swing and a miss. Fastball high and away. Gomez goes down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Phillips. 1-2-3 go the Trash Pandas in the second inning. At the end of 2, we are scoreless. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. We go to the Northrop Grumman third inning. Scoreless Rocket City and Chattanooga. And here to bring you the next few, Brian Neese.
Chattanooga and Rocket City scoreless as we play here in the third. It'll be Quincy McAfee to lead it off for the Lookouts. Facing Coleman Crow. First pitch in there from Crow. Misfires. 1 ball, no strikes. Quincy McAfee, a 26th round draft pick of the Reds in 2019. This one fouled straight back into the screen. Ball and the strike. McAfee out of Pepperdine University. Pepperdine had a fantastic baseball program for a while. This one in the air, center field. Jeremiah Jackson has it played well. Reaches up and makes the catch to retire Quincy McAfee here in the third. Jacob Hurtubise will follow. McAfee, Hurtubise, and Jose Torres in order for Chattanooga here in the third. Facing Coleman Crow. Crow, 22 years old, the right-hander from the first base side of the rubber, rocks and fires. And the fastball is in there for a strike, 0-1. Jacob Hurtubise for the Lookouts, still looking for his first hit of this young season. This one in the air, center field again. Jeremiah Jackson in and to his left, reaches up and makes the catch to retire Hurtubise for the second out here in the third.
Really good to see Jeremiah out there, too. He was primarily a shortstop a season ago, but with Zach Neto and with a couple of other guys in the Angels system, they really think high of Jeremiah, but they want him to move around a little bit, play some different positions, and see if he can fit in elsewhere.
Righty versus righty matchup here as Jose Torres trots to the plate, swings through the first pitch, 0-1.
Well, remember what I said about the nether
Yep.
regions? I think Edgar just caught one right there on the foul tip.
Sure did.
That is no fun. Let's hope he's okay.
He's down on the ground right now and looks to be in quite a bit of pain. Well, you said it earlier. I mean, everybody's still getting ready. Even though you've been through spring training, everybody's still trying to adapt a little bit.
T.D. Swinford, a very busy man today.
Jose Torres down on the ground just outside the left-handed batter's box.
We'll take a look at this one again, or at least we tried to. But yeah, that you want to know why catchers don't play as long as other positions? Well, you just saw why.
Yeah, exactly right. Here's a look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
Did it catch any of the mitt?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it caught him flush, but still, it doesn't have to catch flush
Doesn't
down
matter.
there.
Yeah.
So while they talk to him, folks want to remind you the mission at Northrop Grumman, this is the Northrop Grumman third inning. The mission at Northrop Grumman is to be at the forefront of technology and innovation, delivering superior capability in tandem with maximized cost efficiencies. The security solutions they provide help secure freedoms for our nation as well as those of our allies.
Still checking on Edgar Cuero behind the plate.
And they're going to give him as much time as he needs. Want to mention this, Brian, on last night. Obviously, Rocket City didn't play. However, Birmingham and Tennessee did. What a ball game. Tennessee comes back to win by the score of 10-9, as it looks like Edgar is going to stay in the game. They score 5 in the bottom of the ninth. There was a walk-off 3-run homer by Alejandro Pablino of the Tennessee Smokies to win that one. It was 9-7 when he hit that ball. And so a big win for Tennessee. They get off the schneid, their first win of the year. And a nice round of applause for Edgar.
Going to maneuver his way back behind the plate and receive a couple of pitches. And you got to imagine the thing that he wants the most right now is for this half inning to be over quickly.
I remember one story. This was during the playoffs one year for the Braves. I think it was 97, but Eddie Perez was the catcher for Atlanta. He took a foul tip to a very sensitive area. The trainer for the Braves, Jeff Porter, had gone up the tunnel to work with another Braves player who had been injured earlier in the ball game. So there was no one in the dugout to go see him. Eddie Perez, I mean, as the let-up is swung on and missed 0-2. And so Bobby Cox went out there, and he looked at Eddie, and he looked at the situation and said, Eddie, I'm out here, but I don't know what to do for you.
The 0-2 misses away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Eddie was hurting, but he was so bemused by that comment that it kind of took his mind off the pain.
I bet it did. Crow delivers the 1-2, swung and missed. This gets away from Cuero behind the plate. He's going to try to throw down to first, but it's off the bag and not in time. And Jose Torres is aboard. So to be a strikeout, the third of the game for Coleman Crow. But Jose Torres reaches, and Cuero still not 100% right now behind the plate.
Yeah, and you really feel for the guy because, one, he just got banged up, but that's one issue we've seen early on from him. There's been some pitches he's really struggled to handle. He'll get better as the year goes along.
Here is Noel V. Marte, and there's a breaking ball in there for a strike to begin the at-bat, 0-1. Marte walked back in the first. Torres, the runner at first, being held on by Flint. The pitch is away from the plate, a ball and a strike. You mentioned Eddie Perez. Got to get to know him a little bit when I was with the Stars, and he was with Mississippi at the time. Great guy. Great guy.
Oh, there was some talk about him replacing Bobby when Bobby retired. That obviously didn't happen, but that's how highly he was thought of.
Ball and a strike. This one fouled off first base side into the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But very smart baseball guy. In fact, if I recall correctly, after he had retired, he went to go coach in the minors for a couple of seasons, and there was one year where Mississippi, the AA for the Braves, they were short on catchers. He wound up having to catch, I think, 8 or 9 games in retirement just to help fill a roster spot.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner aboard first, and a check of Torres at first, and he dives back in safely. At one time, Eddie Perez was, I believe, the hitting coach on that team, and Jeff Blauser was the manager. Crow delivers. This one in the air, right field. Calabrese ranges over and reaches up and makes the catch to retire the Lookouts here in the third. A runner on, but nothing doing. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. You're listening to Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Zach Neto will lead it off, followed by Kyron Paris and Edgar Cuero here in the third. Neto 0 for 1 on the day, a strikeout. Connor Phillips delivers. This one off the plate, down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Neto, 6 foot, 185-pound right-hander, just 21 years old in his third year of pro ball. And the fastball misses here. 2 balls, no strikes. Angels think very highly of him.
Yeah. He's got a future. That's
Yep.
That's what they say.
Phillips, there's the fastball, a big swing and a miss from Neto. 2 balls and a strike.
I think the big wow for him this past spring, there was a game they were playing the Dodgers at spring training. There was a line drive up the middle that he just climbed the ladder. He must have jumped about, 40 inches in the air and just wiped it out of the sky. I had the Twitterverse on fire.
2-1 misses high and in, 3-1.
But he's got the complete package. It's just a matter now of gathering the consistency.
Righty versus righty matchup, the 3-1. Fastball swung on and missed, 3-2. Out of Campbell University, do you think there's anybody listening that can tell us the mascot for Campbell?
Oh, I do.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball again, swung and missed. The Camels are the Campbell University Camels, Fighting Camels.
Nothing more intimidating than a camel.
I have been over there for a football game, and just it's beautiful, beautiful over there. Kyron Paris will follow. Paris was hit by a pitch in the helmet back in the first. Again, righty versus righty. There's the fastball. It's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
I did a basketball game there for a time, and what you remember is, one, the campus is beautiful,
Yeah.
and their athletic facilities are top-notch.
They are. Big swing and a miss there by Paris. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
But what I also remember is it's not that far from Raleigh, but you feel like you're in another world. You go through a small town called Dunn, and then there's nothing for about 10 miles, and boom, there's a
There
college.
it is. You're right. The 1-1. It's on the corner, outside corner for a strike, 1-2. We flew in there with the University of North Alabama, flew in there. And I believe we flew into Raleigh. Well, we got word during the game that we could not fly out of Raleigh. The 1-2 on the way, swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Phillips, his 5th of the game. And that'll bring up Edgar Cuero. Walked and reached second on a wild pitch back in the first inning. Could not fly out of Raleigh. Plane was too heavy, runway was too short. Ended up having to bus up to Durham, fly out of Durham.
Wow.
2 out in the inning. And this one fouled off back behind home plate, out of play, 0-1. Saw the personal jet of Mike Krzyzewski, which was interesting that he had a personal jet.
I think he's earned it.
I think so. 0-1 zips in there but misses off the plate, 1-1.
And look, when you're at a private school like Duke,
Yeah.
you can make certain things happen.
Sure can. And I would venture to guess, Josh, he probably didn't have to ask twice.
No.
Fastball here away, 2 balls and a strike.
And if anyone did question, all he has to do is point into the rafters.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Okay, you talked us into it.
Yep.
2 out here in the inning, scoreless game. We're in the bottom of the third. Trash Pandas at the plate. 2-1 catches the inside part of the plate, 2-2, and a long look back from Cuero.
I don't blame him either. That one looked down and in.
He'll want that for his pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Phillips delivers. This one's off the handle of the bat, fouled away off the facade here at Toyota Field. Trash Pandas trying to bounce back after a opening game loss Thursday night. The 2-2 in the air, shallow left field. On comes Hurtubise, lays out, cannot make the grab. Throwing on the brakes at first will be Edgar Cuero, and the Trash Pandas are still alive here in the third.
I'll tell you what, he is showing you a little something here. Cuero, I mean.
The 2-2 in the air,
took a
shallow.
foul tip to the groin while catching last
Cannot
inning.
make the grab.
He had a questionable
on the
strike
brakes
2
at
called
first
on him.
will be-
You know, a lot of 20-year-olds would be kind of beside themselves, not sure what to do. Well, he just toughened up right there and dunked one into left field. That shows you a little something.
So here's Jeremiah Jackson with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss from Jackson. Behind on that one, behind at the count, 0-1. Jeremiah Jackson 0 for 1, flied out to right back in the first. As Josh mentioned earlier, a rough game Thursday night. This one a little bit in, backs out of the way of it, ball and a strike. A base hit would be just what the doctor ordered for Jeremiah Jackson here. Outfield plays him straight away. Second base, Quintana, nearly behind the bag at second. As the pitch zips in on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. Now they always tell you, you have a game like Jeremiah Jackson did the other night where you strike out 4 times, just forget about it, young man. Well, that's easier said than done. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled off, back behind the plate, stays alive, a ball and 2 strikes.
He's about as talented as anyone out on this field, though. It's just a matter of building the consistency, and I know that's something I've said before, but it's true. At the AA level, you can see the major leagues in sight. It's just a matter of being consistent enough to gain the trust of your employer that you can play at the highest level possible. We'll work on that.
Cuero, the runner at first, a great stop behind the plate as that one was in the dirt. And the runner stays put at first.
Phillips held on to that one a little too long. You're right, Ryan. That was a heck of a play by Veoheen to shift to his right. Otherwise, that would have been a wild pitch and a runner in scoring position.
Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Trash Pandas trying to manufacture something here in the third, and a swing and a miss by Jackson. And that'll do it for Rocket City here in the third. 1 aboard but nothing doing. Top of the 4th we go. You're listening to Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network.
We go to the 4th inning of a scoreless game, Rocket City and Chattanooga. Before we do that, let's give our station a chance to identify itself. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Count 1-0 to Ivan Johnson. Let's kick it back over to Brian.
Ivan Johnson 0 for 1 on the day. A strikeout back in the first inning. This one right back to the pitcher, a one-hopper stabbed by Crow, and a toss over to first retires Ivan Johnson. The first out here in the 4th.
I think he broke his bat on this swing, or it certainly sounded like it. Good little jam shot by Coleman as we look at it again. Just late on the fastball was Johnson.
So here's Reese Hines, right fielder for the Lookouts today. There's the fastball from Coleman Crow. It misses down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. "23 starts a season ago for Crow as the fastball is fisted off to the right side out of play. A ball and a strike. As you mentioned earlier, faced a lot of the better teams last year.
A lot better hitting teams, to be exact.
Breaking ball is fouled off back over our heads out of play. A ball and 2 strikes.
It's really one of the downsides to our league. There are only 8 teams, and so it's a very unbalanced schedule. Of course, most of your games are going to come against the Northern Division, so he's seeing the same competition again and again and again.
Pitches away here, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And, of course, hitters, even at this level, they're going to figure you out at some point. So his numbers went up over the second half, but you can understand why.
There's the little pause in the delivery, and this one stays inside, runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Is that something new with his delivery this year?
Yeah, it is. I don't remember him doing this last year. He'll come into his windup, and he'll just sit there for a couple of seconds. You're allowed to do that.
The 3-2 swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Coleman Crow, and that brings up the center fielder, Alan Serta. Three strikeouts now for Crow last year. 128 in 128 innings. That's a pretty good ratio. And he swings through. This one does Serta. He's behind to the count 0-1.
Throw him a changeup that time to retire Hines. Usually he went fastball last year.
This one grounded left side, fielded by the third baseman Gomez. The throw across dugout. Nice play at first. That's Tucker Flint showing off the leather at first base and taking care of the Lookouts here in the 4th. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the home half of the 4th, scoreless here at Toyota Field. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Scoreless as we play here in the 4th inning. Rocket City and the Chattanooga Lookouts. Bottom of the 4th, Tucker Flint will lead it off for Rocket City. And the first pitch breaking ball does not break, stays high, 1 ball, no strikes. Tucker Flint. Walk back in the first. This one fouled back into the screen. Ball and a strike. Tucker Flint first go around here at the AA level. 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts in Thursday night's game. 13th round pick of the Angels a season ago. 1 ball and a strike. And that one's in there for a strike, 1-2. Tucker Flint, one of the youngest players on this team. Looks at the pitch here as it misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big guy at 6'2", 215 pounds. Wiggles the bat behind the head, delivers. This one is a broken bat. Back to the pitcher. Phillips a few steps over toward first and retires Tucker Flint.
And fans, this is the R.J. Young 4th inning under the corporate tagline, "Your productivity is our mission." R.J. Young helps modern professionals become more successful in their businesses with solutions to securely manage paper and digital information, and empowers businesses with leading technologies.
Bryce Teodosio to the plate. 0 for 1 today, flied out to left back in the first. Went a scoreless game at the bottom of the 4th here at Toyota Field. Remember, 7-inning game, so we are in the later innings now. Noelvi Marte even with the bag. First pitch popped up right side, and this one will reach the seats out of play. No balls and a strike.
You were talking about the youth of Tucker Flint, Brian. That's going to be something to kind of watch as you look at the saw-off job on Flint last at bat, but young team, AA level. The hitters are going to be a little behind here in the early going for Rocket City. It's going to be up to guys like Teodosio who've been around the block a little bit to help them out.
This one fouled off almost same location, right side out of play, 0-2.
You remember last year, guys like Trey Cabbage, like Aaron Whitefield. You know, you have older guys, Braxton Martinez, older guys who already know how to handle the AA level. They led the way.
This one in the air, high sky toward right field. Hines drifting over toward the line in right field. In fair territory makes the catch, and that retires Teodosio. And that'll bring up David Calabrese. Calabrese 0 for 1. Not much for either team so far. The only hit back an inning ago for the Trash Pandas. Edgar Cuero with the base hit. Trash Pandas looking for one here in the fourth. This one stays in on the shoe tops of Calabrese. 1 ball, no strikes. A little bit of a wiggle out of the flags out in left center field, but not a lot of breeze at all, as this one is fouled back over the rooftop here at Toyota Field. A ball and a strike. Wind yesterday and Thursday night whipping. Not the case here, as the 1-1 misses high. 2 balls and a strike. Left-handed hitter. And this one fouled straight back into the screen, and that'll even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Talk about the youth of this team and what we saw Thursday night with the high number of strikeouts, and not a lot of production in this one so far. With the count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one in the dirt, blocked behind the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Everybody still, a lot of these guys still trying to find their way in professional baseball. And of course here at the AA level. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and fouled into the mitt of the catcher, and that'll do it for Rocket City here in the fourth. 3 up, 3 down, top the fifth we go. You are tuned in to Rocket City Baseball here on the Rocket City's Trash Pandas Network. Top of the fifth, and back with you, the voice of the Trash Pandas. Here is Josh Carey.
Thank you, Brian. First pitch by Coleman Crow. It's a fastball that sails high. It is 1-0. It's Quintana, Veohin, and McAfee. The 6-7-8 hitters due up for Chattanooga against Coleman Crow, who's into his wind. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball sails high and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Coleman, very efficient. That's only his 50th pitch of the game, and we're in the top of the 5th inning. He's done a fine job setting these guys down as he'll wind the 2-0. Fastball high and away, but that's been a bit of a bugaboo. He's fallen behind a few hitters. He's allowed 2 base runners. One of them a walk. That was Marte in the first. He also had Jose Torres reach on a strike 3 wild pitch, as that one is launched deep down the left field line, but it's going to tail foul. He had the distance, but not the accuracy, did Quintana, and it goes to 3-1. He was sitting dead red on a fastball. That's what he got, and he almost made Coleman pay. Just needs to straighten it out a little. Tries to here as the next pitch is lofted into center. Charging in, though, to make the chest-high catch is Jeremiah Jackson. And there's one away in the Beds Express 5th inning. Do you feel tired and drained in the morning? A better day starts with better sleep. Visit your locally owned and operated Beds Express today and let their sleep experts find the perfect sleep set for you. Beds Express, where dreams begin. So one away, here's Veohin. Veohin, 0 of 1, a ground out to second. That came in the 2nd inning. First pitch, foul back to the screen, 0-1. We only have 1 hit so far in this contest. That belongs to the Trash Pandas. Rocket City also had the best chance to score. That was in the 1st inning. They loaded the bases with 2 out, but couldn't get anyone in. Next offering, let up, lobbed out into right on the move. A sliding catch made by Calabrese. Good play by David. You can see he had a little bit of a late break. This is only his 2nd game out there, and had to pick up the ball awfully quick off the end of the bat here as he came charging in and made a nice sliding play. So 2 up, 2 gone for Quincy McAfee. McAfee 0 of 1. He flew out to center his first time as Crow will go from the first base side of the rubber. He'll wind and deliver. Fastball popped up, foul ground, first base over his flint. He slides maybe a little too early, but it lands on top of the tarp, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, you mentioned the new guys in the outfield. Jeremiah Jackson has looked good. Now Calabrese makes that play in right field. They're going to have their moments where they'll make some plays that or don't make some plays that they should, but so far so good out there.
Count 0-1 to McAfee as the right-handed hitter will stand back in. And now time called, and that's going to be from McAfee. That's his one timeout during the at-bat. Now he'll stand back in as Crow goes right back to work. Into his wind, the 0-1. Fastball tipped foul back to the screen, 0-2, and just like that, a chance for Coleman to wrap up this inning.
Do you like the batter getting the one timeout?
Yeah, I can give them one if they get something in their eye or if they get a little banged up, sure.
Yeah.
Coleman will try to finish the frame, 0-2. Lifted along the line and right. That's going to be a foul ball as pining for a double was McAfee. He hit it off the end of the bat, but it continued to tail to the right. He'll check his warp club, make sure there are no cracks in it as the count stays at 0-2. The only problem was back before the rule changes is you would see 5 or 6 of those in that bat, and it just drove people nuts. Guarding the line at third is Gomez. Here's the wind. And the 0-2. Curve, swing and a miss, strike 3. McAfee down swinging. Strikeout number 4 for Crow. 1, 2, 3 go the Lookouts. In the top of the Beds Express fifth. We'll go to the bottom half, still scoreless. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. We go to the bottom of the Beds Express fifth inning, still scoreless. Rocket City and Chattanooga. On the TV side, you can see the line score plain as day. It's been pretty straightforward. It's been a pitcher's duel, to say the least, as Coleman Crow has been outstanding for Rocket City. But now the Lookouts are going to go to their bullpen. This will be Matt Soroller. I remember this guy. We saw him a couple of years ago. You may have remembered 2 years ago, Rocket City destroyed Chattanooga on a Sunday afternoon in Chattanooga by the score of 26-3. First pitch is outside by Soroller. It's 1-0. Soroller was actually the starting pitcher in that game. So he's trying to bounce back. Not just from that, he had a tough year overall. He'll wind the 1-0. And the fastball cut on and miss. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The interesting thing about that, as much as he struggled in that season, he actually began the year at the major league level. He was with the Orioles for a brief time. Fastball outside. It's 2-1. In fact, in his time with the Orioles, he pitched on opening day for the Birds, and he struck out Aaron Judge, of all things. This was 2021. But then he began to falter. 2-1. Fastball misses in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Struggled so much that the Orioles sent him back to the Reds. And then from there, his struggles continue. But good to see him back out there trying to right the ship as he'll go from the first base side of the rubber. The right-handed hitting Whitefield stands back in. The 3-1 on the way. Fastball, called strike 2. Whitefield didn't like that. Now a payoff pitch will be due. Wow. So 3-2 the count to Whitefield. He was caught looking his first time. The look in from Soroller. Here's the 3-2 on the way. Fastball hit foul off to the right. And it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Soroller has some pedigree, major league pedigree in his family. Ben McDonald. Remember Ben McDonald?
Former the Orioles.
Yeah. He's related to Soroller. Here's the 3-2 on the way. In the dirt, ball 4. Looked like he tried to throw him a changeup. Whitefield will trot to first. So walk number 1 by Soroller. 1 on with no one out for Jose Gomez. Close the book on Connor Phillips. He was outstanding. 4 shutout innings. He allowed a hit. He walked 2. Both of those came in the first inning. And he struck out 7. But now the go-ahead run on at first base with no one out. And remember, it's a 7-inning game, so this isn't really the 5th. It's more like the 7th. As Gomez digs in, righty-on-righty matchup. Pinching in at third is Marte. Here's the kick, the delivery. Almost hit him as he threw him a let-up. 1-0. Jose, he struck out swinging his first time. Holding the runner at first is McAfee. Soroller back to the letters. High leg kick, the pitch. Fastball, swing and miss. Kept it away, and it evens now at a ball and a strike on the right-handed hitter.
Ben McDonald, talking about him, he was a Huntsville Star for a very short time.
That's right. I had forgotten that. Soroller did not play last year, as he'll look back in. The 1-1. Runner will go. Pitch foul to the screen. Boy, they tried to play hit and run, and Jose just going to put it in play as the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Like Ben McDonald, Soroller out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Of course, Ben was a star at LSU. Soroller, meanwhile, played his college ball at Southwestern Louisiana over in Hammond, Louisiana. Count at a ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if they put Aaron in motion again. They won't. The pitch in the dirt this time. Looked like a slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jose ready to go again. A lot of room on the right side. Shaded up the middle. Quintana, the second baseman, and now a throw over by Soroller. And back safely is Whitefield. Soroller born in 1995. In fact, he's got a birthday coming up on Monday. The look back in. 2-2. Here it is. Runner will go. Pitch is popped up into shallow right, drifting over the second baseman, Quintana. He's drifting. It's going to fall in, and everyone's going to be safe. I think the throw. No, that's going to be in time. I'm sorry. I misjudged that one myself. The second baseman, Quintana, had gone over to cover the bag. The ball was popped up. He had to run a country mile to try and catch that ball.
Runner will go.
It wound up
Pitch
being
is
beyond his
popped up.
reach. It fell in.
Into
You can see
shallow
Aaron
right,
having to
drifting
run
over the second
suicides
baseman,
out
Quintana.
there.
He's drifting.
It's going to fall in.
By that time, he just didn't have
everyone's
enough
gonna
time
be
to
safe.
retreat
I
to
think
second
the
base.
throw.
That'll
No,
go down
that's
as
gonna be
a
in
fielder's
time. I'm
choice.
sorry. 9-6 as over to cover was Quintana.
I'm a little surprised that Reese Hines didn't make the play on that.
Well, that ball barely got out of the infield. And now we're going to get a pitch clock violation on Soroller. Count will go to 1-0. Remember, he did not play last year, Soroller, so he's still getting used to these new timing rules. Here's Zach Neto now. 0 of 2, 2 strikeouts. Pitch is inside, and it goes to 2-0. The guy who I really thought would get the ball was McAfee, but you got to remember, the ball is right behind first base, so he's got to drift a little bit. That's a very precarious situation to be in if you're the first baseman. Wind drifting in from left center. 2-0. Next pitch, that's in there, a changeup. And it will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. So the strikeouts continuing to plague the Trash Pandas, but it's still a scoreless game. Go ahead run at first as we play the bottom of the 5th inning. Soroller from the letters. High leg kick the pitch. Fastball right down Broadway. And will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gomez, 8 of 15 in the stolen base department a year ago. He leads away. The next offering, down and away. Looked like a changeup that missed. Now a 3-2 count on Neto. Kyron Paris waits on deck. Zach so far 1 of 5 on the season. 3 strikeouts. That's a little concerning as he'll dig back in. Open stance for the right-handed hitter. Payoff pitch. Runner will go. And the ball is looped out into left field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Gomez will round second. He'll put on the brakes there, and that's the right move as the ball comes back in from Hurtubise. Yes, it was hit and run, but that ball was right in front of him. Hurtubise was right, Johnny, on the spot to get to that thing, and Gomez didn't want to chance it.
Well, that's exactly what you want to see out of your leadoff guy, and Zach Neto has the bat. We know that, and he showcases it there. Good for him. Couple of strikeouts on the day. Comes through with a big hit there.
So now Kyron Paris will stand in as both Veo Heen and the shortstop Torres are going to come in and talk things over. Sean Cassidy, the home plate umpire, will break things up. So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Rocket City again had the bases loaded with 2 out in the first. Teodosio flew out to left to end that threat. Since then, they've only had 1 other base runner before this inning, this is, and that was the bloop single by Cuero. in the third. So Rocket City with a chance to break out on top here. As Paris will dig in. 0 of 1, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout. The right-handed hitter waits. First pitch by Soroller. High and tight with a fastball, 1-0. Kyron on that hit by pitch. You can see his helmet on the TV side. He's got that ear flap covering the left side of his chin. Thank goodness for that, because if that hadn't been there, it would have caught him flush on that chin back in the first inning. Next pitch. Fastball driven. Deep right field. On the move is Hines. He looks up. It's out of here. KP goes oppo. Home run number 1, RBI 2, 3, and 4. And Rocket City out to a 3-0 lead.
And you hope that's what it takes to get the bats alive. Opposite field shot. Hines never had a chance. Great to see.
He had 12 a year ago between 2 different affiliates, and again, that's his first one of this season. So 3-zip, here's Cuero, righty on lefty, first pitch. Now a changeup and a strike over the inner half. It's 0-1. The third hit of the game for Rocket City is a biggie. That's also the first home run of the season for Trash Panda Nation. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Looked like a fastball that Cuero was late on. It goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Soroller into his wind, the 0-2, here it is. And the curve misses down and in, 1-2. So Soroller touched up. Again, this is his first outing since 2021. Right back on the bump he'll go. Off the line at third is Marte. A 1-2, here it is. Swing and a miss. Looked like a slider down and away. Very slow moving pitch coming in, and Cuero was fooled badly. That'll be strikeout number 1 for Soroller. Out number 2 in the Beds Express 5th inning, and here's Jeremiah Jackson.
How about Soroller bouncing back after that home run? Showing a little maturity there on the bump.
JJ, righty on righty matchup, first pitch. It looked like a changeup that skied into shallow left. Out is the shortstop Torres on the left field grass. He'll make the squeeze, and the side is retired. But 3 biggies, all earned on 2 hits. The big blow, the 3-run blast by Paris. No errors, and no one left on base. We'll head to the 6th inning. Rocket City leading at 3-0. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Sam Bachman leads us back into the 6th inning as the fastball misses high and away, 1-0. Coleman Crow pitching a beauty. He's doing a thing, I like to call it. The 1-0, swung on, lifted along the line and left. That's going to tail foul into the seats. And it goes to a ball and a strike. A hit with a big 0 on it type of thing. He has allowed only 2 base runners, a walk, and then a strike 3 wild pitch. The 1-1. Oh, he hit him. Well, now make it. Oh, they're going to keep him here. They're going to say that he didn't try to get out of the way.
Wow.
There's a break. Hurtubise. And now here comes the manager for Chattanooga, Jose Moreno, who was tossed out of Thursday night's ball game. Let's take a look at this again. Oh, okay, yeah.
I can see that. I think we'd have an argument either way.
I think obviously what Jose Moreno is going to say, no, my guy was, checking a swing and had turned his hips, but you can see on that back leg, he sort of left it out there to get blunked.
He certainly did not pull it out of the way.
No. And that's the whole purpose, is if you're about to get hit, you got to make an attempt to get out of the way. So it's 1-2. That goes down as a strike. So Hurtubise up against it, left-handed hitter, open stance. Here's the pitch. Curve, just missed outside. And it will go to 3 balls and a strike. Coleman's fallen behind a few people tonight, but again, He's been in command for the most part as the 3-1 is on the way. Fastball high and away. So after all that, he still has Hurtubise reach. That'll be walk number 2 by Crow. His first one came in the first inning, and we'll go back to the top of the order and Jose Torres. So now you begin your third time through the order, and we'll see what adjustments the Lookouts have made. Torres flew to right in the first and then reached on that strike 3 wild pitch in the third as the first pitch is cut on through by Jose. High fastball. 0-1 to the right-handed hitter. Crow will peer back in. He's K'd for tonight. He'll come set, and the pitch. Change up that time. Swing and a miss. Fooled badly was Torres. And it goes to 0-2. Wind continues to drift in at about 5 miles an hour. Coleman to the belt, 0-2. Change up, hit foul, back our way, and just off the awning above us, into the seats. Oh, what a play! On the ricochet, a fan down there from the Bronx reached up with the right hand and snapped it out of the sky.
Can I rely on you to get in front of me for those?
No, I'm headed the other way as the 0-2 is in the dirt. Nice stop by Cuero. And we'll go to a ball and 2 strikes. That was a problem in year 1 for us. Our netting here was about 10 feet shorter, and balls would fly up into the sweet area at will. Here's the set, the 1-2. Let up, swing and a miss. Kept it down and away. Torres down swinging. That'll be strikeout number 5 for Crow. Out number 1 here in the 6th inning. And I got to talk about this a little bit. Obviously, he's 5 outs away from doing something very special, but you got to remember, we're dealing with AA pitchers who they want to see develop. As the first pitch is low to Marte, it's 1-0. It's not about what they do here with the Trash Pandas per se. It's about what they can do for the Angels, and so you don't want to blow out a guy like Crow in outing number 1. He's about to throw his 69th pitch of the game, and a swing and a miss. High fastball away. It's a ball and a strike. That's something we were talking about last year during that no-hitter against Biloxi. How long would Chase Silseth go? He wound up going 7, and then a couple of other Trash Pandas pitchers came in to finish the job. Fastball, swing and a miss. Kept it high. It's 1-2.
He's still got some zip right now, too.
Now, with all this said, there is someone throwing in the Rocket City bullpen. They've got a left-hander up there. As the count is at a ball and 2 strikes on Marte. He has walked and flown to right. Coleman from the first base side of the rubber. At the belt, the 1-2. Here it is. Runner will go. Pitch is tapped to the mound. He checks second. Will flip to first in time. As moving on the play kept Chattanooga out of the twin killing. 1-3 on the putout there. 2 gone. And here's Ivan Johnson. Johnson, 0 of 2, a strikeout swinging. He's also hit a comebacker. Coleman Crow 4 outs away now. As leading from second will be Hurtubise. First pitch, hit foul off to the left. And goes right off the sweet level.
Yep.
0-1. Johnson now 1 of 8 from the series out of Atlanta, Georgia. Shaded up the middle, the shortstop Neto. From the belt goes Crow. Kick, pitch. Fastball sails outside, and it evens at a ball and a strike. Again, Kyron Paris with a 3-run homer to the opposite field in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's the difference. And brilliant pitching by Crow. The set, the 1-1, here it is. Looked like a changeup that missed down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Coleman about to throw his 75th pitch. That's really the pitch limit, but they'll at least let him face this batter. Coleman back to the belt. 2-1, here it is. Fastball hit the outside corner, 2-2. Ivan didn't think much of that one. And now Crow will try to end the inning with a flourish.
Crow has had great location today with that fastball.
We'll see if he goes back to it here. He's got a base to play, or a hitter to play with, I should say. The 2-2 on the way. Let up, bounce to short. Neto will stay back on it. Pat the glove, fire across the diamond in time. 6-3 on the putout. He's 3 away. for the Lookouts in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left. Bottom half upcoming, 3-0 Rocket City. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Andy Fisher will take over for Chattanooga as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Rocket City leading it 3-0. Max Soroller went an inning, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He walked 1, struck out another. He is in line to lose this game for Chattanooga if the Lookouts can't come back. Due up for the Trash Pandas, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Flint, Teodosio, and Calabrese, as the first pitch is fouled back to the screen by Flint. It's 0-1, but again, the big story right now, Rocket City 3 outs away from the second no-hitter in team history. The question is, will Coleman Crow be allowed to go back out there and finish his masterpiece? The 0-1 is a slider that sails outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. A right-hander now throwing for the Trash Pandas. So we'll just see what Andy Shatsley decides to do. Next offering. Fastball right through there by Fisher, and it goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And again, you want to see it, but you know there's a pitch count out there. Will they give him some wiggle room? Crow, I mean. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Swung on, in on his fist, pop foul back off to the left by Flint. And it stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Tucker walked in the first, hit a comebacker to the mound in the 4th. The look in by Fisher. Pitch. Slider low and away, 2-2. I remember this guy from last year out of Champaign, Illinois. However, he stayed home, went to the University of Illinois.
Illini.
From the letters, high leg kick pitch. Slider just missed outside. Fisher thought he had him. And it runs full to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
His delivery hard to pick up, too, with the baseball coming out from the side a little bit.
Especially if you're a left-handed hitter. 3-2, here it is. Swing and a miss. Late hack that time on the fastball by Flint. He goes down swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Fisher. Strikeout number 9 now for Chattanooga pitchers. If we haven't picked up on a theme so far this weekend, it's all about the pitching. Here's Teodosio. Bryce, 0 of 2. A fly out to deep left in the first, and then another sky job to right. That was in the 4th inning. Lefty on righty matchup as Teo digs in. And he sends one into deep center field. Well, he evened it out, Bryce. He's hit one to all 3 outfielders as making the catch is the center fielder, Serta.
Equal opportunity hitter right there.
No kidding. 2 gone. And here's David Calabrese. And not trying to be a smart aleck, though. The great part about seeing that for Bryce, strikeouts were such a huge issue for him last year. Good to see him put it in play all 3 times in this game. Here's David now. Calabrese 0 of 2. A foul out to third, a strikeout swinging. Lefty on lefty as the first pitch. Swing, tip foul, back to the screen, and that caught a piece of home plate umpire Sean Cassidy. He's okay. And it's 0-1. 3-3-0 for Rocket City. All zeros, triple zeros for the Lookouts. The look back in to the left-handed hitter. Next pitch. Nice changeup, swing and a miss. Fooled badly was Calabrese. Now it's 0-2 and a chance here for Fisher to wrap up a 1-2-3 inning. By the way, in the Rocket City pen, that's the volunteer fireman, Ben Joyce, who's up and throwing. Here's the set. From the letters, the 0-2. Slider, swing and a miss away. Down swinging Calabrese. Fisher comes in, strikes out 2 of the 3 men he faces. 1, 2, 3 go the Trash Pandas. We'll see what happens, and it is going to be Ben Joyce as we go to the 7th. Rocket City going for a no-hitter. They lead at 3-0. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. We go to the 7th. Rocket City 3 outs away from a win. And if they can keep Chattanooga off the board in the hit column, it'll be the second no-hitter in team history. Ben Joyce on for Coleman Crow as he'll face Hines, Serta, and Quintana, the middle part of the order. And the slider misses in the dirt, 1-0. So 2 things to watch here. One is whether or not Rocket City can get the no-hitter. Number 2 is also the radar gun, which from what I understand is not working right now. So never mind that as the fastball misses away, 2-0. But still, always fun to see Ben out there. He was clocked at 104 during spring training this year. He's been as high as 105. The 2-0 from Ben. Low and away, 3-0. But out of all this, the most important thing, obviously, is to nail down the win. First one of the year. Hines 0 of 2, a ground out to short, a strikeout swinging. Ben from the belt. High leg kick pitch. Fastball right through there. 3-1. We'll give you Coleman Crow's final line in just a moment as he stands to win this one. Joyce delivers again. Fastball low. He walked him, so not exactly how you want to start the 7th inning. Coleman Crow's 6 hitless innings. No runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He allowed only 3 base runners, and again, one of those was on a drop strike 3. So this is walk number 3 of the game for Rocket City. Now Serta, 0 of 2, a strikeout swinging, a ground out to third. Got to get over it, Ben. First pitch, outside, 1-0. He missed with the changeup. A lot of room on the right side, shaded up the middle. Parrish, the second baseman. Holding the runner aboard is Flint at first. 1-0. Outside, 2-0. He's missing away. And now time call. Michael Wirtz has already seen enough. He's going to go out there after 6 pitches or 7 pitches rather, and have a word with Joyce, who for the most part looked very good in his time with the Trash Pandas. Went 1-0 with a 2.08 ERA a year ago, 13 appearances. Had a couple of moments where command was a bit of an issue, but nothing like this. This is a bit of a disconcerting start for him this outing as we look at the replay. Well off the plate.
Saw Ben pitch twice last year in Knoxville, and just a cult following up there.
The volunteer fireman. And time is called as someone went running down to the Chattanooga bullpen. We introduced him at the team dinner on Wednesday, I guess it was. Boy, all the hoots and the hollers.
Yeah.
Fastball low, 3-0. We forget there are a lot of Orange fans up this way. So Ben behind in the count, 3-0, and he's got to get one over at this point. Lead at first by Hines. The pitch. There's a strike. 3-1. Joyce back to the belt. The 3-1, here it is. There's a ball. Wow. Must have been outside, and now suddenly the tying run comes to the plate. We were talking about a possible no-hitter. Now you just want Rocket City to hang on here.
Oh, for Ben Joyce, to get that call, you've got to be consistent, and obviously he has not been. That was close, but probably not going to get that call.
Good attempt at a frame there by Cuero. So 2 on, no one out. Here's Quintana, who's flied to right and flied to center. And for those who are hoping Coleman Crow would come back out, look, pitch count's a thing, especially at the minor league level. As disappointing as it is, you understand the thinking of Andy Schatchley and the Angels. Here's the set, the pitch. Swung on, popped up. This won't do anything. Infield fly in effect. Under it is Paris in the shallow right field grass. He makes the catch for out number 1. So Quintana was going to jump all over that one, and you may as well. It's a fastball. You know it's coming. May as well try to jump on it, and he popped it up the chute.
Yeah, great idea right there. You're exactly right. You know it's coming. I just couldn't get around on it in time.
So that's out number 1. 2 on, 1 out. Here's Daniel Veoheen. He's 0 of 2, a bounce out to second, a fly out to right. First pitch, down and in as he missed with a fastball, 1-0. Veoheen with 10 homers a year ago. Got to keep that in mind. The left-handed hitter stands in, slightly open stance against the righty Joyce. He'll check second. The kick, the pitch. Fastball down and away, 2-0. It's getting a little dicey here. No one else throwing in the Rocket City pen, at least not yet. This is Joyce's inning. Away at second is Hines. Leading from first is Serta. Flint plays behind the runner at first and guards the line against the left-handed hitter. As the next pitch is inside, and it's 3-0. Quincy McAfee waits on deck. Joyce, long look in. The 3-0, here it is. There's a strike. And it goes to 3-1. As that fastball caught the inside corner. Let's see if he can make a comeback here. Shaded up the middle, the shortstop Neto. Veoheen waits the pitch. Missed high with the fastball. That'll be ball 4. So he's walked the bases loaded as Hines goes to third. Moving to second is Serta. And on at first is Veoheen. That's now the 5th walk of the game from Rocket City. So the base is full of lookouts with one away. Here's Quincy McAfee, and I think we're going to have a pinch hitter. And we are. This is going to be number 43 coming to the plate. This is James Free. Out of Anaheim, California, of all places. So James Free, the pinch hitter here with the bases loaded and 1 out. The first 2 runners you're not that worried about. It's the runner at first who concerns you. So Joyce struggling here in his first outing of the season. Free digs in, righty on lefty. The pitch. There's a strike, a fastball. Got to get ahead. It's 0-1.
Exactly what you want right here. Got to work ahead to these hitters here.
There's Coleman Crow. What a job he did. Now he needs his buddy Ben to help him out here. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him. It's 0-2. Free last season hit .254, 8 homers and 27 RBI. The look back in by Joyce. From the belt, the 0-2. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Fastball away. He just said to heck with it. Fastball, 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 and Free goes down swinging.
And that's tough for Free. Here, come off the bench, you're cold. Here's 100 mile an hour, young man. Go after it.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
As we look at it again, on that outer half, and you could see the ride from it going into the other batter's box. 2 away, and now here's Hurtubise at the plate. The first pitch. Fastball away, 1-0. Now you're an out away from a win and an out away from a no-hitter. Joyce peers back in. At the belt, the pitch. Down and in with the fastball, 2-0.
Well, if you're Hurtubise here, you know what you're getting. You know what's coming.
My guess is he'll get the green light. He's flied to center and he's walked. The 2-0 on the way. Outside, 3-0. And he's in danger of walking in a run and, most importantly, moving the tying run into scoring position. Rocket City kind of limping here toward the finish. Can Ben bear down? They play him straight away in the infield and the outfield. The 3-0. Way outside. He walked in a run. So that'll break up the shutout. Hines in from third. RBI number 1 for Hurtubise as Serta moves to third. And most importantly, Veoheen goes to second. And there is someone throwing in the Rocket City pen. It's a left-hander. So walk number 4 by Joyce. And now time called as going out there is Cuero to have a word with the right-hander, and one to settle him down, but also give whoever's throwing a chance to get warm. So bases loaded. Now we're going to get a pinch runner at second base. This will be number 44. That's going to be Ilvin Fernandez. So Fernandez will pinch run. So we go back to the top of the order, and Jose Torres, who's 0 of 3 today, 2 strikeouts, both swinging, and a fly out to right. This is a righty-on-righty matchup. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. The set, the pitch. Fastball, strike, 0-1. He got ahead of Free and struck him out. He fell behind a Hurtubise and walked him. Let's hope this is a sign of things to come. As Ben goes back to the belt. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Foul to the screen. Looked like a bit of a slider that time. Now it's 0-2 and a chance for Joyce to wrap it up here. You got 105, young man. May as well use it. The look in as the crowd claps it up. The 0-2 on the way. Fastball. Oh, they say it's high. Wow. Wow. Cuero and Joyce can't believe it. Replay if you will. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2. On the way. Swung, lifted into center, deep, back on it goes Jackson. Trailing, he's there, he dropped it! And 2 runs, 3 runs are going to score, and Chattanooga takes the lead. My goodness.
Wow. Jackson had a long way to go on it. Had to track it down, but he was under it. Josh just dropped it.
We look at it again. You can see Jeremiah was playing shallow, and he did track it down. He was under it. He just muffed it. That'll be an E8. And it's a 4-3 game. Here comes Andy Shatsley, and that's going to do it for Ben Joyce. And you know what's amazing? The no-hitter is still intact.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter as Rocket City falls behind 4-3. New pitcher coming in for the Trash Pandas. We'll tell you about it in just a moment. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. A shocking turn of events here at Toyota Field. 4 runs have scored for Chattanooga without the benefit of a hit. A drop fly ball by Jeremiah Jackson allows 3 runs to score. Eric Torres will now come in for a struggling Ben Joyce and just try to wrap up this inning for the Trash Pandas as he's going to face Noelvi Marte. Joyce goes 2/3 of an inning. He allowed no hits. 4 runs, only 1 of them is earned. The runner at second is his responsibility. He walked 4 and struck out 1. Just a tough outing for him as Marte stands in. Lefty on righty, first pitch, and he hit him. My goodness. And he's down, and that's one of the top prospects in the Reds organization. Let's hope he's okay. He is holding his left knee. Just all the things that have happened in this inning, my goodness. The trainer for Chattanooga is out there. Oh, that caught him right on bone.
Sure did.
That was one of those fastballs sliding in there from Torres, who last season was the saves leader in the Southern League. Not exactly the first appearance he wanted to make, but he comes in here and will try to wrap up this inning for the Trash Pandas as Chattanooga's trainer trying to take a look at Marte. That's Wade Hebrink, and he's back on his feet, and that's good to see. Due up for Rocket City in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Whitefield, Gomez, and Neto. But you got to keep it a 1-run game. Let's just kind of recap what's happened in this inning. Rocket City was actually going for a no-hitter. Coleman Crow had reached his pitch count, so he was taken from the game. Ben Joyce came in and just didn't have it, as we'll take a look at this hit by pitch again. But Ben walked Hines and Serta to lead off the inning. Got a pop-up from Quintana. Then he walked Veoheen to load the bases. He struck out James Free. Walked in a run as he walked Hurtubise. So that was walk number 4. But then he got Torres to fly the ball to straightaway center for what appeared to be the game-ending out. Jeremiah Jackson got back there. He camped under, and he just flat missed it. And that's what allowed those 3 other runs to score. No RBI for Torres, and that's where we sit. 4-3 game as standing in is Ivan Johnson, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Still no hits for the Lookouts. First pitch by Torres on the way. That hit the outside corner. Fastball. It's 0-1. And also lost in all this, a possible strike 3 to Torres right before that muff fly ball that, is what it is. Here's the 0-1 on the way. He hit him. A fastball that tailed down and in, and it caught Johnson on the shoe. My goodness. Torres will head to third. Marte will move up to second. Back-to-back hit batsman. What else can happen in this inning? Yeah, caught him on the back shoe. So we go to Reese Hines, who started all this with a walk. Torres at third, Marte at second, Johnson on at first. Hines, in addition to that walk, scored a run, has also struck out swinging and bounced to short. Lefty on righty, and the first pitch to him, swing and a miss. Fastball, it's 0-1. Shaded toward right center is Jackson. Next pitch, here it is. Fastball, strike, and it goes to 0-2. As Torres will try to wrap up what has been a forgetful seventh inning for the Trash Pandas. The look back in. Eric from the belt. The 0-2 on the way. Down and in, almost hit him again, that time with a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eric shakes off a couple of signs. Now he's good to go. Here's the 1-2. On the way. Hit hard but foul as he jammed that ball, did. Hines up into the seats, trying to go to the off field. And it remains a ball and 2 strikes, but still a chance in the bottom of the 7th, but you got to keep this a 1-run game. Torres ready to go. Here's the 1-2. He hit him. That'll drive in a run.
Josh, I've seen a lot of crazy innings. This may be one of the top 2 or 3 right here. Wow, I can't believe that.
Torres in from third. Marte will move to third, and up to second goes Johnson. And you just wonder, and this isn't an excuse by any means, but you just wonder, for Torres at least, you know, obviously he wasn't expecting to come into this game.
Yeah.
Then suddenly you're thrown in there, and sometimes that can put you out of sorts. He almost hit Serta on a high and tight fastball. 2 of the more reliable relievers for Rocket City last year right now struggling to find the strike zone. The 1-0 pitch, here it is. That's down and in, 2-0. Torres ready to go again. You got to get it over. Next pitch. Almost hit him inside, 3-0. Five runs on no hits. Here's the 3-0 on the way. He walked him on 4 straight. There's Michael Wirtz, and there's Andy Shatchley. I don't know what they can do or say right now. Michael Wirtz is going to go out there and have a word with Eric. No, walk number 1 by Torres. That's also the 5th walk of the inning. It's now a 6-3 game. Marte will come in from third. Johnson goes to third, and up to second goes Hines.
I wonder what you say in that conversation. I mean,
at this point, I don't know what you can do.
I don't either.
And there is no one who feels any worse right now than Jeremiah Jackson. He
Sure.
went back on the ball, did everything he was supposed to do, and he just flat missed it.
Missed it.
Here we are.
And, you know, talking about the misplayed ball out there, and then you look at what Ben Joyce did, walking through, 3 batters in that inning. Got a rough call there maybe on the strike 3 call, and Ben Joyce is going to say, well, you know what, hey, I don't walk those guys. He doesn't have a chance.
Yeah. Let's give our station a chance to identify itself. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball and the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Torres back to the belt. Next pitch. There's a strike. It's 0-1. Eric looks back in. Next offering on the way. In the dirt, going to skip past Cuero. Now a wild pitch will score another run. Johnson in from third. Hines will go to third. And Serta will move up to second. Here's the line score for Chattanooga, 7-0-0. As Cuero did all he could on that one. So 1-1 the count, next pitch. Hine away with the fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. The look back in. Torres kicks and delivers. Almost hit him with another fastball. It's 3-1. Torres ready to go again. 3-1, here it is. Swung on, looped along the line and left. That's going to tail foul into the seats. And the count will run full to 3 balls and 2 strikes as Torres will try to finish off this inning.
Well, as we talked about a couple of batters ago, you probably know what's coming here as far as the pitch goes. Something you can hit, probably a fastball.
A payoff pitch due to the right-handed hitter, Torres. At the belt, the 3-2, here it is. Hit foul to the screen. Late on that pitch was Quintana. It remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd claps it up. The 3-2 on the way. Fouled away again. That'll leave the stadium. And remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shaded toward right center is Jackson. 3-2 on the way. Hit him. Fastball sailed inside. That's his 4th hit batter. To go along with a walk. We look at a replay. That's just a fastball that tailed inside. Let's go ahead and give our station a chance to identify itself. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Here is Ilvin Fernandez. He fouls the first pitch back to the screen, 0-1. Ilvin, if you remember, came into pinch run for Daniel Veo-Heen earlier this inning. He wound up scoring the tying run on the drop fly ball by Jackson. Now he's not pinch hitting, he's hitting. He came in as a pinch runner. The 0-1. Hit foul over by the third base dugout where Chattanooga is. The count is 0-2, and Torres will try to end the inning. Ilvin out of San Francisco de Macorís hit 187 a year ago at Daytona Beach. Here's the 0-2. Down and in as he missed with the slider. Good stop by Cuero. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thirteenth man to bat in the inning. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But my goodness. 7 runs, 1 earned on no hits. 1 huge error, 3 men left. Bottom 7, Chattanooga leading at 7-3. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th, who thought we would be here? It's 7-3, Chattanooga with the lead over Rocket City, and it's Stevie Branch who will come on and try to finish this up for Chattanooga. As the fastball misses away, it's 1-0. 7 runs on no hits in the top of the 7th for Chattanooga. 5 walks, 4 hit batsmen. As the fastball fouled back to the screen, it's 1-1 and a misplayed fly ball. There's just no words to describe that inning. And, you know, the team in that first base dugout, they're pretty disappointed over it as the 1-1 is outside. Fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the thing about it is you still have another game after this one. Yeah. Let's see if the Trash Pandas can try and make a surge here. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew a fastball by Whitefield. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisher, by the way, pitches a 1-2-3 6th inning for the Lookouts. He strikes out 2 of the 3 men he faces. He's in line to win this game as the 2-2 is called strike 3. Aaron knew it. He's called out on strike. Strikeout number 1 for Branch. That is now strikeout number 11 for Chattanooga pitchers. And one gone in the 7th inning for Jose Gomez. Jose 0 of 2. He has struck out swinging, reached on a fielder's choice, and scored a run. Again, Rocket City took a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th on a 3-run homer from Kyron Paris. Let up misses low. It's 1-0. And then Coleman Crow went 6 no-hit innings. Everything was on the up and up. And then the 7th inning came upon us, and everything fell apart as the changeup is in there. Count goes to 1-1. By the way, a couple of unfortunate pitching lines I'm going to give you here in just a moment, as the 1-1 is hit foul off to the right by Gomez. It's 1-2. Ben Joyce, 2/3 of an inning, no hits, 5 runs, 1 earned, 4 walks and a strikeout. Eric Torres, 1/3 of an inning, no hits, 2 runs, neither of which is earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 4 hit batsmen. As the fastball is tomahawked out of the stadium by Gomez, and it will go to a ball and 2 strikes. The right-handed hitter will stand back in. The wind by Branch, the pitch. Let up, tap toward third. In is Marte, bobbles, throws, not in time. Able to leg it out that time was Gomez, and you just wonder if Marte is still a little gimpy after that hit by pitch he took last inning on the knee. Branch, the pitch.
He legged
Let
it
up,
out.
tap
That's
toward
a tough
third.
play right
In
there
is
for Marte.
Marte, bobbles, throws, not in time.
Effort.
Able
That's
to leg
only
it out
the
that
4th
time
hit
was
of the game.
for period. Rocket City has all 4 hits. Here's Zach Neto as we go back to the top of the order. He has singled, scored a run, and struck out twice, both swinging. By the way, Branch, for what it's worth, as Neto waits, out of New Paltz, New York. And the fastball's in there, 0-1. Went 2-3 a year ago for Chattanooga with an ERA of 5.97. 6'4", 205-pound right-hander. He'll come to the belt. 0-1 on the way. That one's hit hard into left field for a base hit. Grounded through the left side by Neto. Now you're a base runner away from giving yourself a chance. Back-to-back singles as Gomez takes second, and reaching first is Neto.
The way this game has gone, I'm not counting anything out yet.
Who knows? So here's Kyron Paris now. KP, 1 of 2. That big 3-run homer in the 5th, which we thought would be the difference. He's also struck out swinging. He was also hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Righty on righty matchup. Branch checks second, first pitch. Let up, stayed high, 1-0. Edgar Cuero waits on deck. Righty on righty matchup as Paris digs in. 1-0. Fastball away. 2-0. Usually you'd want Kyron to swing away, but you need another base runner. I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking here. Branch making things interesting as the right-handed hitter digs back in. The 2-0 pitch. Outside. 3-0.
And just saying here, who's coming up in the lineup?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Jackson. I mean, you know what? A big chance to. You'd love to see it.
Let's take it a step at a time first.
You're right.
Here's the set. 3-0. Way high and away. Ball 4. He walked him on 4 straight. Gomez to third. Neto to second. Now the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Edgar Cuero. That'll be walk number 1 by Branch. That's walk number 4 by Chattanooga pitchers. And here comes Brian Garman, the pitching coach, to have a word here with Branch. He retired Whitefield with ease on a call 3rd strike. But now back-to-back singles by Gomez and Neto, a walk to Paris. And now the tying run is at the plate. Edgar today is 1 of 2. He singled in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. He also drew a walk in the 1st. As Sean Cassidy will go out there and break things up. Well, the crowd has been treated to an awfully interesting ball game, to say the least. And for those who have hung in there this long, 1, they've got another game coming up after this one, but number 2, I want to see if the Trash Pandas can make a comeback here. This will be a righty on lefty matchup. Cuero, a switch hitter, will dig in from the left-handed batter's box. They swing him around to the right. Well off the line at third is Marte. Shaded up the middle, Torres. From the belt, the pitch. Fastball, strike, 0-1. You don't mind a take there just because he was all over the place to Paris. And now you got to square up here. It's 0-1. Bases full of Pandas. Wind drifting in ever so slightly. Not going to make a difference. Next pitch. Swung on, cued to left side, into left field for a base hit. One in, other runner at third. In to score is Neto. It's now 7-5. Shaded that way was Marte, but again, and I have to wonder if that hit by pitch is really impacting him. He wasn't able to knock that ball down. 2-run single by Cuero, and now Jeremiah Jackson will stand in with a chance to redeem himself.
I absolutely think you're right about Marte. I think that is hindering him a little bit.
Gomez comes in from third. Neto races in from second. Paris moves to second. And now time called, and that's going to do it for Branch. Jose Moreno has seen enough, so he's going to go back to the bullpen. New pitcher coming in for the Lookouts. Tying run at first, winning run at the plate. When we come back, 7-5, Lookouts with the lead. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network. Pedro Garcia is going to come in here and try to close this game out for Chattanooga. He got the save on Thursday after he went a scoreless 11th inning. He struck out 2 of the 3 men he faced. But all the drama for an early season game. Jeremiah Jackson, who made that crucial 3-run error in the top of this inning that gave Chattanooga the lead, now has a chance to redeem himself as he comes to the plate with runners at first and second, only 1 out. The tying run is at first. That's in the form of Edgar Cuero. And, of course, Jackson represents the winning run at the plate. Righty on righty matchup as Garcia will face Jackson, who is 0 of 3 with a strikeout. The check of second, the pitch. Let up, that's away. Did he go? No, he did not, says Chandler Durham over at first base. 1-0. Jackson faced Garcia on Thursday and grounded to second. Still looking for his first hit of the season. Righty on righty matchup. Playing behind the runner at first is McAfee as Garcia comes set, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup that he left high, but Jeremiah couldn't do anything with it. And it goes to a ball and a strike. Garcia out of Maracaibo, Venezuela, went 3-2 a year ago between Chattanooga and Louisville with a 3.20 ERA. They set up inside the 1-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. He threw that one right by Jeremiah, and it goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Tucker Flint waits on deck. They play him straight away and deep in the outfield. Got to shorten up here. Away at second, Paris leading from first. Cuero from the letters, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked like an off-speed pitch away. Jeremiah down swinging. That's strikeout number 1 for Garcia and strikeout number 12 now for Chattanooga pitchers. And 2 away for Tucker Flint. Tucker is 0 of 2. A walk, a comebacker to the mound, and a strikeout swinging. He's still looking for his first hit. Can he come through against the righty, Garcia? Righty on lefty matchup. Open stance for Tucker. The high set. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that hit the outer half. 0-1. Got to at least put it in play and make their defense work. You got a hobbled third baseman out there in Marte. Flint stands back in. The 0-1. Here it is. Fastball called strike 2. Flint knew it too. A little upset with himself as he'll step out of the box and try to kick some of the dirt out of his cleats. Now the Trash Pandas are down to their final strike. Is there a little miracle left in this one? Flint stands back in. Garcia shakes off a sign. Now ready to go. High setup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. High fastball, strike 3. Flint down swinging. And I know it's only game 2, but this one hurts. In the 7th for Rocket City, they get 2 runs. They're both earned on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 big ones left on base. Stevie Branch winds up going a third of an inning, allows 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned a walk and a strikeout. Meanwhile, Pedro Garcia does the job, faces 2 men, strikes out both, and Rocket City loses this one 7-3. And folks, you're not going to believe the line score. Chattanooga 7 runs on no hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. As for Rocket City, they get 3 runs. They did it on 6 hits, and they committed a big error, and they left 6 on base. Winning pitcher is going to wind up being Andy Fisher. He'll move to 1-0 after he pitched a 1-2-3-6. Ben Joyce will take the loss after a tough 7th inning. He'll fall to 0-1, and the save will go to Garcia, his 2nd of the series and of the season. Time of game was 2 hours and 17 minutes. We're going to take a 30-minute break. For those of you on this TV and WUMP, we'll go to regular programming for the next half hour or so, and we'll be back here for Game 2, give or take around 7 o'clock or so. Again, Chattanooga takes Game 1 of this doubleheader despite the no-hitters, 7-5. We'll be back with Game 2 in about half an hour. This is Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network.